Hello. Avery beat you now. The struggle is real. Hi Kimono, hi Avery, how are you guys? Well, Avery's lurking, so you can respond to me later. Hopefully you guys are well. Let me know if the audio is okay. And if it's absolutely horrendous, let me know. Sorry for interrupting your lunchtime, but can I have your attention, please? My classmates looked at me with surprise. I stood at the front of the room and banged on the blackboard. I needed to get their attention. You can listen while you eat. I want to talk to you about our classmate, Satoko Hojo. Everyone went quiet as soon as I brought up her name. They all knew how bad of a situation Satoko was in. Remembering what happened to her last year, they understood how critical it was that she get help as soon as possible. Everyone was thinking that they wanted to save Satoko if they could. But they hadn't done anything because they didn't know what they alone could do. I don't think there's need for me to explain what's going on with her. As you all know, Satoko's been absent for 3 days in a row. It's been 3 days since she got kidnapped by her uncle. Hi, Assault Shaker, welcome, how are you? He called the school and told them that she still has a cold, but I don't believe that. She hasn't even visited the clinic in these past 3 days. My classmates, think about this logically for a moment. If she's really that sick, why would he not take her to the clinic for 3 whole days? You're sick but feeling better today? Oh no, I hope you get better soon. Being sick sucks. Yucky. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, though. It's hard to believe that she's been sick for that long, yeah. She might have the flu, but if that's the case, she should be seeing a doctor. The whole class agreed that it was a bit strange. Everyone had been thinking the same thing inside their hearts. However, no one had really come forward and talked about it. This was a good start. Just think about it. Satoko is the healthiest girl in this village. Thanks, it's a light fever. Everything went well at the end, but now my mom's got the— Oh no! Not the spreading disease. That is unfortunate. Well, I hope your mom gets better too. Take it easy, rest if you need to. Lots of sleep, lots of water. She won't even get sick after eating food that's past the expiry date. I know how to say expiration, but I don't know how to say this word. Big brain. Thanks for doing as you said. Good. Keep it up. I'm glad to know. But now she somehow got sick all of a sudden and missed school for 3 days. That's hard to believe, isn't it? The answer is simple. Her uncle is forcing her to stay home. We've reported this case to the Child Consultation Center. However, they're putting it on hold. We went there, but all they told us was that they can't talk about it due to privacy reasons. What do you guys think about all this?
I think it's wrong. We all know how her aunt and uncle were treating her last year. Besides, Satoko-chan was living happily with Rika-chan. It's wrong for him to force her to move out of there and keep her away from us.
The sight of Rena letting her emotions speak for her, when she was normally so quiet, demonstrated most of all just how dire the situation was. Rena brought an intensity to this that I couldn't, since I often yelled and shouted about things. Are we just going to leave things as they are? Satoko is our friend. She's our classmate. We've spent time together in this small classroom, and we're like family to each other. We learned together, we played together, we ate together, and we fought each other at times. We've spent so much time together that our relationship is as tight as a family's. Should we neglect someone who's that precious to us? Raise your hand if you want to neglect her. I'm sure none of you want to do that. No way. We must help Satoko. Mutter. The class was filled with commotion, which is exactly what I was looking for. Hi, Viking King. Welcome. How are you? I know we were just talking like 2 minutes ago, but I'm glad you're here. The louder I talked, the louder my classmates got. They were getting all fired up. The more I let my true colors show, the greater everyone's emotions became as well. Our club is already making its move. Your voice acting is legit? Oh, thank you. I do my best. We're trying to figure out how we can save her. Did you know that, Tomita-kun? No, that I did not. Let me tell you what our plan is. Don't worry, it's not something illegal. We're trying to fight, but without breaking the rules. In truth, nothing is more effective in society than taking an orthodox stand. Playing underhanded and striking by surprise may seem more effective, but that's as insignificant as a jack-in-the-box. A real orthodox attack can punch through anything. Yeah, I've heard that even in karate, a straightforward punch can deliver the greatest impact. When you think about the physics a bit, it's only natural a straightforward, simple, head-on strike would hold the most power. We're already doing the right thing by saving Satoko. Therefore, there's no need for us to do anything underhanded to accomplish that. A cannon would be unorthodox? I guess, yeah, at this day and age, probably. But is it illegal? Ready the cannon. Facts. We need to fight openly. So who are we fighting against? That's a good question, Okamura-kun. This is a fight, true. However, we're not going to be violent with anyone. We're following the rules. This is the honest way to conduct a battle. Before we go any further, let me get back to just how we're going to save Satoko. This is the current situation. Satoko is there. Her uncle is locking her up inside the house. Apparently, she had no obvious injuries as of yesterday, but we don't know for sure if she hasn't gotten hurt since then. Besides, preventing her from going to school is already child abuse. Check this out. This is a brochure that Mion brought from the Child Consultation Center. It's written clearly in here. Keeping a child away from school is abuse. On top of that, her uncle left Satoko on her own for a year. That's considered neglect. Neglect also counts as abuse. However, the Child Consultation Center didn't even take that into consideration. They ignored the fact that he neglected her for 1 year, and they believed that she hasn't come to school because she's sick. They concluded that Satoko is not being abused because she had no obvious injuries at that point. What do all of you think? Maebara-san, this is a blatant case of child abuse. Just because she doesn't have any injuries doesn't prove that she's not getting abused. I agree with him. How come they can't see it? It's so obvious. From what Mion's heard from inside their office, 2 or 3 days isn't enough time to determine if abuse is taking place or not. Apparently, they can only recognize it as abuse after it's continued over several months or several years. She says that they have to evaluate the situation very carefully. So, what do you all think about that? Do you think keeping Satoko in that house for several months is a good idea? No way! No way! Exactly. Absolutely no way. No, I have not watched those videos yet. I've been busy. Been running around places. I'll get to them eventually. The Child Consultation Center has no idea how much danger Satoko's facing right now. They don't know how terrible it was for her last year. Yet, I just need some time. I still haven't caught up with all my work from this week because we went out yesterday, and that just kind of like knocked me down. It was fun. I went to the Seoul Illustration Fair. So it's like a big art show, except most of it was like merch. So we spent some time there, me and my sisters, and it was great. But there were a lot of people. And when I'm around a lot of people, I just kind of shrivel. But yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Happy 87 sub stream, thank you! So, like an early 4th of July getaway? Yeah, kind of. Kind of. I guess since we can't watch fireworks because we're in Korea, that was our big thing. Happy 4th, by the way, for any USA viewers that are watching. I feel you about social anxiety. Yeah, people scary. People big scary. But yeah, if you guys have any 4th of July plans, you know, share. Yes, you need to post your con hall kimono. You gotta show. If you guys ever go to conventions, I want to see what you get. This is very important. That's why they're just putting her case on hold. What would you do, Tomita-kun? Sir, I think the issue here is that the Child Consultation Center isn't grasping the urgency of her situation. Happy 4th, I'm from US as well. No, I don't seem to have much planned because I rested all day from sickness. You know, that is totally fair. And I respect that. But yes, happy 4th. Maybe you'll see some fireworks from the window, and if not, maybe you can, I don't know, sparklers? After you get better, though. Because I don't know if inhaling sparkler smoke is a good idea when you're sick. I think someone needs to go there and explain to them how serious this is.
Right. It might be routine for them to wait and see what happens. But in Satoko-chan's case, that's not applicable.
I'd say some shut-eye for the night is better. I agree. That is a good idea. And if you need to get it, you know, don't be afraid to hop off stream. That is totally okay. Your health comes first.
Her uncle was abusing her last year too. He was taking out his stress on her. After the death of her aunt, he left Satoko-chan all alone and disappeared somewhere for an entire year.
You know what? We even have information that he disappeared because he tried to move in with his lover in Okinomiya. The moment I saw Rena, I was all like, oh no, it's the yandere, run! You know, it depends on which game. Because she was definitely a little freaky in some of them. But in this one, she's pretty okay. She's not being yandere or creepy or even violent, so we approve of this, Rena. What was Satoko doing while he left her? She was fortunate because Rika-chan offered her a place to stay. But what if Rika-chan wasn't there for her? She'd have no choice but to try and survive on her own. Furthermore, we also know that he came back to Hinamizawa because his lover disappeared somewhere. In other words, she dumped him. He had no choice but to come back to Hinamizawa, and he forced Satoko to live with him again. Con Hall posted, let's go! I'll check it after stream. I'm very excited to see what you got. Her neighbors have seen her doing the laundry too. The reason he took Satoko with him is clear. He took her so that she could work as his slave. Oh no, the green-haired girl called the cops to hide to the corner immediately. Honestly, it's the green-haired ones you gotta look out for. Dare I say, even more yandere than Rena. How could anyone do something like that? Is there anyone in this classroom that would call such a rotten person a parent after he spent a full year playing around with his mistress only to come waltzing back and throwing his weight around? No!
No way!
Right, he's not her guardian. But the Child Consultation Center still calls him that. They claim that they'd have to go through family court in order to take away his parental rights. Who has the right to decide whether he's good enough to be Satogo's guardian? It shouldn't be the court. It should be decided based on common sense. I could say this clearly. He is not Satogo's guardian. We need to make that clear to the Child Consultation Center. The Child Consultation Center is the only organization that can help Satoko before she's physically abused. The police won't move unless it develops into a criminal case. But do you think that we're going to wait until Satoko becomes a victim? We can't just sit around until that happens. That's why we're going to make our move now. We hit the Okinomiya Child Consultation Center yesterday. This is what they wrote down after we did. 5 classmates of Satoko Hojo made a visitation request to her protection. Do you know what that means? 5 classmates are not enough. We need your help. We need all of you. This is your chance to do something meaningful in your life. If you don't help us, you're not our friends. All you have to do is support me. I'll do all the talking, and our club members are going to do all the fighting. We just want you guys to support us. If that's not enough, feel free to join the fight. Let them know the spirit of the Hinamizawa branch school. Mayabara-kun, what is going on? Chie-sensei looked into the classroom, the commotion having attracted her attention. As soon as she tried to step inside the class, someone behind her stopped her. Principal? Miss Chie, I would like to have some tea. Would you make me a cup, please? It was a clear display of his intent not to disrupt Keiichi's speech. Are you sure? There are lots of young children in the class. If they all go to the Child Consultation Center, how can we explain it to their parents?
Chie.
Furude-san, what's going on here?
Everyone is trying so hard for Satoko's sake. I can't do anything, so I need their help. But I can at least try to stop you from stopping them.
Chie had never seen Rika staring at her with an expression like that. She was surprised to see Rika looking so determined. Why would you want to stop them? Principal! This is splendid, isn't it? They should do what they can. I will take responsibility for whatever happens. The principal pounded his own chest. Chie-sensei couldn't object any longer. I understand. Please make sure that no one gets hurt. You all must follow the rules and mind your manners. Get SEAL Team 6 on the phone so they could take out the uncle? I feel like they're going to, or they're gonna try at least. You have to promise me that.
Thank you very much.
I'm proud of you, Miss Chie. My students are teaching me many lessons. Yes, I've made my decision. My students are like my own children. And what mother wouldn't protect her own children? All right. Head back out as soon as you get home today and meet us at the Okinomiya Library. The Child Consultation Center is on the first floor. Yeah! Wait!
Chie-sensei.
Sensei, are you going to stop us? Certainly not. I truly understand your passion. I'm going to support you as long as you follow the rules.
Yeah!
I'm coming with you to make sure you behave yourselves. Is that okay? Yo, we got an adult?
Yeah!
Alright, alright. Here we go, here we go! We're all getting fired up. We headed for the library as soon as we got back home from school. I'd expected that a few kids wouldn't show up, but surprisingly, everyone came along. I could tell just how driven they were. It was also encouraging to have Chie-sensei there with us. I had to admit, I'd been feeling a bit guilty for dragging everyone to the consultation center. But as long as Chie-sensei was with us, I didn't need to feel that guilt. Mayabara-san, please come to the counter. Hello, I'm Mayabara. How can we help you today? As I wrote on the registration form, we came to tell you about the danger Satoko Hojo is in. How many of you are here today? And how are you all related to her? We're Satoko's classmates and her teacher. There's 27 of us. Well, our consultation room is not very large. Can we ask just a few people to come inside as representatives? No.
Then shouldn't you prepare a bigger room? Like a meeting room? I believe you should be arranging a room for us, not asking us to adjust to yours.
Please, just give us a moment. The receptionist seemed troubled. She told us to head back to our seats and started to make a phone call to someone. Good job, Rena-san. I consider myself a pro, and even I thought that threat was perfectly timed.
Are you trying to compliment me?
Rena's good at reading other people's minds. Sometimes she can use that talent against the enemy to intimidate them. A strange atmosphere permeated the office. It must have been the first time a whole class had visited on behalf of one child. It was as though we were here for a school trip. Yo, a school trip to the consultation center is wild. Well, hello. I'm Harayama, the manager of this center. Please, take a seat. I'm sorry for bringing the whole class to your office. I'm Chie from the Hinamizawa Branch School. We're here to talk with you today. They were treating us so differently now that we had 5 times as many kids, plus 1 adult. Instead of the small consultation room, they took us to a big meeting hall. On top of that, the manager was there, along with the woman from yesterday. I will let Mayabara-kun do the talking. Chie-sensei sat down at the far end of the table. She was just here to look after us. Besides, like I'd said, we were the ones who were going to fight. It was fine if Chie-sensei just stayed there and watched us quietly. I'm Keiichi Mayabara. Nice to meet you. Well, I've heard that yesterday you visited us with 5 of your friends to present your valuable thoughts to us on Satoko Hojo-san's case. Are you here on a different matter today? I hadn't expected that they would start the conversation. What were they thinking?
I don't like how ambiguous this feels. It feels like they're debating how to move, unsure if the fault lies with us or not.
Kechan, you should clearly tell them why we came here and let them know that they're in the wrong. My friends were analyzing the situation behind me. It felt like I was having a meeting with the president of a foreign country. Actually, that wasn't far from the truth. I was sort of the prime minister. I was representing the whole class. I needed to be polite, but stern. Alright, let's attack from this angle then. Kechan, tell them something like this. Got it? Mion gave me her attack plan. This really is how Mion operates best. If she's weak on defense, then I can bear the brunt with impudence, while Mion issues perfect orders from behind. I took my friend's analyses and advice into consideration and calmly opened my mouth. No. First, let me confirm something with you. We've come here today to make sure what we came to convey yesterday was properly conveyed to you. So I apologize if this seems rude, but could you please tell us how much you grasped from our conversation yesterday? It's alright if that just means reading a memo aloud. They became quiet for a second. It might have only been a short time, but the silence felt much longer than that. I could see the manager's expression turning serious. He thought he was just dealing with the social studies class, but suddenly his response changed to that of one dealing with a protest group of local citizens. From my understanding, we've acknowledged that you came to appeal that Satoko Hojo-san is in an extreme situation meriting temporary protection from our agency, and that we should expedite our response. I believe that our staff at the time explained that we are not taking our situation lightly, and we are currently discussing the appropriate measures. So, taking into consideration the fact that Satoko Hojo was suffering abuse from her uncle at this time last year, you still believe an urgent response is unnecessary. Well, our organization has no confirmed records that Teppei Hojo-san was administering abuse at this time last year. Mutter, 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 mutter. What? What the hell were you guys doing last year? She was being abused by both her aunt and uncle. Please don't tell us that you were only aware about the abuse from her aunt. Normally, we don't talk about such private affairs, but under these special circumstances, I think it's acceptable to say. We are aware that there was trouble between Satoko-san and her aunt, Tamae-san. However, we have no record showing that her uncle was also involved in the abuse. In fact, when we interviewed her neighbors, several mentioned Tamae-san's slight hysteric tendencies, but none ever brought up the name of her uncle, Teppei-san.
We believe that's simply because his abuse didn't stand out under the shadow of her aunt's especially vicious nature. We do not believe that constitutes evidence that her uncle was not abusing her as well. Used ChatGPT before when making Disgaea fanfics, and the transcript I got before was "What in the Netherworld?"
Huh. Interesting. I've only really used ChatGPT a couple times to make, like, sample sentences for a job I had. But, I don't know. It seems like it needs a lot of editing work, from what I could tell. Like, it's a good start, but it's far from perfect. I see. So you claim there was a likelihood that Teppei-san also inflicted abuse on the child at this time last year. The manager and the staff beside him jotted that down with a pen, as if to show that this was their first time hearing this information.
This is why we came here today. We believe that the Child Consultation Center doesn't have a proper understanding of her present situation. We believe you should be able to see how urgent this case is once you fully understand it.
I see. We're taking that into consideration. Please allow us to do a more thorough investigation into Teppei-san.
We mentioned this yesterday as well, but our uncle abandoned his responsibilities as a guardian for over a year. We received no response on this information yesterday, but what is your organization's opinion on this matter?
Of course, our office is aware that Teppei-san was absent from his residence for a year, and we have interviewed him on that matter. So what was his excuse? I mean, you can't talk about it for privacy reasons, but if it convinced all of you, it must have justified leaving her alone for a whole year, right? If you believe living with his mistress in Okinomiya is sufficient reason for abandoning his responsibilities for a full year, then we'd like to receive that in writing. No. Is that what happened? He explained to us that he was forced to work away from home in order to raise Satoko-san, so this is our first time hearing that. Happy 4th! Yeah, happy 4th, Gray! Do you have any plans? Oh, wait. Did get better when you use the update 4 version. They no longer use the What in the Netherworld thing. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know there was another update, but I did use it like, how long ago was it? Like a year? Probably been a while. Hi, Gray. Do you have any 4th plans? What the hell? They just believe that crap?
If it's your first time hearing that, then you should also know that Satoko-chan has been absent from school 3 days in a row now.
Drawing? Nice. That's totally valid. No fireworks for you?
While he contacted the school yesterday to say that she had a cold, the only hospital in the village, the idiot clinic, has no records of her being examined. What do you believe the proper response is for a guardian who refuses to take a child to the hospital when she's been bedridden with illness for 3 days in a row?
Well, we confirmed that she was absent one day, but 3 days in a row is news to us as well. However, our social worker met directly with Satoko-san and confirmed that the child in question denies the occurrence of abuse. When we asked if she wishes to continue living with Teppei-san, she answered in the affirmative. So there's no abuse as long as she says so? That's one of the more difficult aspects. Whether the child herself feels she is suffering abuse or not is a very important factor. It's much like the definition of bullying. While the bully may not believe they are bullying, it's bullying if the recipient believes it is.
So you can't do anything unless she admits that she's being abused and seeks your help herself?
No, that's not quite how it works. Our organization investigates the child's environment, and if we find any problems that might harm their lifestyle, we take appropriate action to protect them. However, we don't believe Satoko-san's case has reached that level of danger at present. No urgency at this point. That was exactly how the Child Consultation Center felt about Satoko's case. Our classmates who had been watching the discussion burst into an uproar. How could you say something like that? What makes you believe that she's not in danger? First of all, Satoko-san denies the abuse, and not only that, she has no visible injuries either. Also, she's being provided with shelter, food, and clothes. We can't say that Teppei-san is not taking responsibility as her guardian. Both of them seem to have no complaints about their current living arrangements. We believe that we do need to further discuss Teppei-san's past, but unfortunately, we also believe that you and your friends are overreacting to this situation. Overreacting?
Calm down, Keiji-kun. Let's not take it too personally.
Dang it. Why are they treating us like this? They think that we're only acting this way based on what happened last year. I see. The consultation center was assuming that this year's cases and last year's cases were two separate issues. On top of that, Satoko was denying the abuse entirely. Teppei-san regrets the fact that he had to leave Satoko-san alone because of having to work for her sake. He promised that he would stay with her from now on and raise her lovingly. Bang! I heard a loud noise. Someone had just pounded the table. Everyone, including the manager, was startled. I figured it must have been Shion, but... it was Rana. Ooh, she's mad. Whoa. Her face had turned as furious as a demon's. It's best for a child to live with their parents. There are things you can only learn from the love of your family. We've heard that Satoko-san was living with another minor for the past year and has not been living under any adult. This could greatly harm her future, as she is a sensitive, growing child. I'm sure that in your friendship with her, you all believe that she may be the happiest that way. But could you please give Satoko-san and Teppei-san the opportunity to restart their new life as uncle and niece and watch over them kindly?
Weren't you listening to any of the things we said?
You're saying that you're not going to help her unless Satoko asks for your help? How is she supposed to seek help if she's being locked inside her house? She can't even go outside or make a phone call. How could she seek help? We came here in her stead because she can't be here herself. But you're not even willing to listen to us. That's not what we're trying to say. We will remember that over 20 of her classmates visited to talk about Satoko-san's case. We'll take what happened today in consideration when we make further decisions about her case.
When are you going to make the decision? Can you guarantee us that Satoko-chan won't get hurt before that decision is made?
If something happens to her, will you take responsibility? If she gets even a single bruise on her body, you're in huge trouble. Shion-san, that's enough. Please, tell us when you'll make that decision. That's right! How long is it going to take you? Like I said, we need to take the matter seriously and make a careful decision. In order to do so, we will continue to meet with the two of them and investigate so that her and her father, her uncle, can have a better relationship. Please wait and see what happens for a while. We ask you to do so for her sake.
So that's your response. You're saying that it isn't urgent, even though we came here to tell you that it is.
I was starting to get lost in what they were trying to say, but Rana's words made me realize everything. We came here to tell them that they needed to protect her right away, but they clearly told us that they didn't see any reason to do so. We understand that there may be a reason for urgency. We will take your opinion into consideration and make our decision. I hope that'll satisfy you. At first glance, it sounded like they were speaking humbly, but our insistence of the urgency to Satoko's situation was spinning their wheels. They had no intention of meeting us halfway. Right. They are officials. Plus, they have the authority that could change the life of an individual like Satoko. Considering that, being a little overcautious and carefully deliberating matters wasn't the wrong response for them, and I would have understood that if this wasn't so personal. But in reality, Satoko had no time to spare. We could see that, because we understood everything. We knew how Satoko would reject me after I rubbed her head, because of the horrible abuse she got from her uncle. That nightmare will come true in just a few days. In that nightmare, I knew that I should save her, but I just wasted my time. I wasn't going to make the same mistake. I had to make a move immediately. Maebara-kun, did you say everything that you wanted to? Yes. That's it for today. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Everyone, please bow to them. Class President, will you take the lead? Thank you very much. No, thank you for your valuable opinions. Valuable opinions that we will now proceed to ignore. Wow. Wow. Thank you, everyone. Be careful on your way home. We all came back to Hinamizawa together, and it was time for us to part. As the class president, Mion gave everyone the notice we were dismissed. However, everyone stuck around to talk about what happened today. We came back to Hinamizawa on our bikes, so we didn't really get to talk with each other. Now that we'd gotten off of them, we finally got to say what we wanted.
This is the first time that everyone in the class has gotten together and fought for someone like this.
It reminds me of the dam conflict. Everyone's feelings are united. That's true. None of these kids participated in the conflict, even though they might remember it from when they were a baby. But what we did today was more polite than what they did in the dam conflict. No one is bleeding, and there are no bombs or riot police.
Unity is the best thing about Hinamizawa.
That's true. This old man's blood is boiling for the first time in a while. Hehe. The people in Hinamizawa all got together to fight against the dam project. Everyone working together as a team means a lot to the villagers here. If there's one person coming, 2 should throw rocks at them. If there are 2, 4 should do so. And if there are 4, then 8. If there's 1,000, the whole village should stand up and fight.
What's that? A figure of speech?
It's something that our grandma used to say. She was trying to tell the villagers to band together and fight. When there's an enemy, 2 should fight together. And when there are 1,000, the whole village should fight together. I see. She wanted the villagers to unite and defeat their enemies. It means more than that. Uniting to fight together is one thing, but it also means that the whole village should unite and fight for the sake of an individual. Its real meaning is that everyone should share that individual's pain, sympathize with them, and fight for them too.
Wow! That sounds very similar to what's happening right now.
In other words, the battle that we're fighting now represents Hinamizawa as a whole. I see. Everyone supported me not because they were impressed by my speech, but because it's their nature to unite like that. The classmates were all still sticking around and discussing the issues surrounding Satoko. For some of them, this was like a return of the dam conflict, and also a big chance for those who never experienced it. It almost felt like a festival. Most of them thought that we didn't make much progress today, though. Maebara-san! Maebara-san! So their conclusion is that they're not going to save Hojo-san, right? Their answer wasn't that bad, but you're right in the sense that they'll watch her suffer.
I live close to him, so I know what kind of guy that uncle is.
He's not normal.
We figured out that the people at the Child Consultation Center don't understand anything.
But we can't just give up after today either. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun seemed serious. They weren't just supporting me. They wanted to make a move themselves. We're going to have to work hard to save Hojo-san.
Yeah!
I agree. It's hard to believe that these are the same innocent kids who are always running around the school. I'm really happy to see them so motivated. Of course we are. Satoko's our friend. We're going to save her. So please lend us your support again.
No, Maebara-san. This is our responsibility as her classmates.
We're not fighting because you asked us to. We're doing this because we want to. I'm impressed to hear that from you, Tomita-kun. Shall we go there again tomorrow?
I don't think we should take any days off.
Bother them every day, let's go. Consistency is important. I agree with Rena-san. But it's only going to end with the same result if we go there with the same people again. I think today was more effective because we were there with more people.
Then shall we go there with even more people tomorrow? Shall we?
Rena turned back towards everyone as she spoke. We all understood what she was trying to say. Not all children from Hinamizawa go to the Hinamizawa branch school. Around half of them go to the school in Okinomiya. Those children are not our classmates, but they're still our friends from around the neighborhood. Hinamizawa is a small village after all. They know Satoko as well as we do, and they also know what's going on with her right now. Rumors spread at the speed of light in Hinamizawa. I could tell that by now, everyone in the village knows about my embarrassing history of undergoing punishments.
I'll talk to Daisuke when I get home.
I bet he'd come with us.
I'll call my friends when I get back home too. The school in Okinomiya isn't that far from the library. That's a good idea. Let's go. Let's do it.
This is turning out well. I think we can get at least 10 more people on our side. I'll try reaching out to a few of the old members of the kids club too. I think I could get at least 3 of them to come with us. I'll ask my friends from cram school, too. But none of them know about Satoko or her situation. They're just friends of mine, so it'll only be about 4 people. Do you think it might be difficult to get other adults involved? Well, the people on the town council don't want to have anything to do with the Hojo family. Because of what happened during the dam conflict? How about older people? Can you get the old people on our side, Rika-chan? Older people are bitter towards Satoko. People who believe in the curse of Oyashiro-sama really think the Hojo family deserves what they get. So we can only get more children, but no adults. How many of us will there be? What about your parents, Keiichi? They don't care.
At this rate, there are going to be about 17 more children. I don't know if they'll all make it, but hopefully there'll be more than 40 of us.
Posted a meme on the meme channel in the server. Oh, I'll check it out later after stream.
40 people? I'm impressed, Keiichi.
You think 40's enough, Rika-chan?
What?
I grinned and tapped Rika-chan's chest. It's not enough. 40's not enough to knock out those stubborn people. We need at least 20 more. I'm sure 60 people would intimidate them. But where can we get that much help? You have no idea. My name is Keiichi Maebara. If I say I'm going to accomplish something, I will. So that's the whole story, Kameda-kun. We're going to launch our 3rd attack tomorrow evening. Will you help us? I don't want to reject your request, Kei. We ate that jumbo parfait together. That was our vow as sworn brothers. I want to help you, Kei. But tomorrow's not a good day. What? Why is that, Kameda? You can't lend a hand to this poor, innocent girl? Where's your pride as a 2-dimensional warrior? You deserve a beating. Clench those teeth. Yo. Oh, wait a minute, Kei-san. Please listen to me. I would help her if it wasn't tomorrow. Of course I love chested schoolmates. And normally I'd be happy to even lick Satoko-chan's socks. But I just can't tomorrow. Yo, this guy. I do not like this guy. You idiot. Tell me, Kameda. Socks? I know. This guy? No. I'll knock at least 3 of your teeth out, even if you can't make it because of your parents' funeral. I can't come tomorrow because tomorrow's the dessert fiesta here at Angel Mort. What did you say? It's the dessert fiesta, Kei-san. It's the dessert fiesta of Angel Mort. It gets bonus points for using the hiragana for festa. I actually won an admission ticket. I'm not going to invite anyone but you. Let's go and pig out on those sweet girls. I mean, cakes. He deserved that. No one asked Mr. Vegeta hairline? Facts. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Please, Kei-san. I'll help you the day after tomorrow. So please let me go to the festa tomorrow. Oh, fiesta. Please, I'm begging you.
Keiichi-kun, I think you should let him go for tomorrow.
No, I can't. I can't let him go. Kameda, you dared to weigh cakes against a real little girl. You only gain the right to eat cake when you can save the girl. For starters, you don't have any understanding of how good Satoko is. Listen, Satoko's charm is that which seems Sunsun at first glance. But as you set off her flag, she grows dere-dere. She's a classic tsundere. You should understand that the greatest appeal of a tsundere lies in the gap between her sun and dere. Normally, she's all sunsun without an ounce of eroticism, but once you flip her switch, she's suddenly dere-dere. We are talking about a child. That gap between her on and off states is her charm. She's just like the first and last half of Higurashi's plot itself. In other words, Satoko is the true Miss Higurashi. On top of that, she has the added spice of the little sister element that's growing standard now, as well as being a Souke. She's the new generation of heroine with a perfect level of rebellious spirit, making her grand descent into this world overflowing with romantically dependent heroines. You want to know how amazing her advent is? She's as incredible as a blonde princess alighting in an open field. But she's not a goddess, so don't go spouting upload, or pass, please. If you can't understand her appeal, then what are you? Where's your pride as a 2D warrior? What? Would you dare to say you're moving to fake 3D now that the increase in polygon count? Huh? You're a century too early. Our progenitors from the age when heroines were displayed in 256-bit with 8 colors, they found love and moe there, evolving their emotions to an even higher dimension. None of that was to escape into the 2D world. It was an evolution of love derived from their love of real women. The statue of Venus and the Mona Lisa are the epitome of our progenitors' feelings of moe. By the way, I think the girl with the fewest pixels was Kay from Dragon. Huh? Young people nowadays probably can't even tell that she's a girl. Oh, by the way, the princess of... is it Dragon Buster? Was also amazing. She was wearing a short skirt and a crown and she had a scepter. She even changed into a swimsuit and a bunny girl outfit. Am I the only one who thinks that she's the oldest cosplaying heroine in the history of Japanese arcade games? It's amazing that I was able to play those games for only 50 yen. But remember, we found our feelings of moe in the beautiful girls that lay beyond that 16 by 16 pixel art. Yes, we 2D warriors search for the truth behind those walls of pixels and polygons, seeking their true form. So, how could you say that you would choose those pixels and polygons over a real live little girl that exists without those walls between you? That proves that you've lost sight of your goal and settled for half measures. 2D warriors do not deny the 3D. They're a new generation of 3D warriors who love 3D even more, trying to express that detail through 2D symbols. Though calling it 2D is bad when it's elevated above 3D. You may get confused because 2 sounds inferior. That's why Microsoft named their console Xbox 360, because Xbox 2 would have sounded inferior to PlayStation 3. Anyway, all I want to say is this. Keiichi has been yapping, and I do not understand. Which console is going to get Resident Evil and Metal Gear? By the way, the new Dead or Alive is coming out soon too, right? Is it true that Zack is made out of the same number of polygons as the female character's breasts? Anyway, forget about that and buckle down to save the real little girl. Kamera! He cannot get to the point, literally. Like, what is he yapping about? I don't understand. I'm sorry, I was wrong. What was I thinking? What have I done? It's okay, Kameda. Mistakes are there so you can realize you made them. I wonder why some female anime character voice sound like babies. I don't know. I guess for the cutesy characters, sometimes they want like a higher voice to make them sound extra cutesy. You just realized your mistake and became a better man. Take my hand. The door to the next millennium is right in front of you.
Keiichi-kun and Kameda-kun seem to be having lots of fun. I have no idea what they're talking about.
It's annoying when they do something like that. I mean, there's an audience for everything, right? Like, some people like the higher voices. And some people don't. Sometimes being high-pitched doesn't automatically make it cute. This is true. This is very true. But in the end, it is all a preference thing. Don't bother, don't bother. Got it, Kay. On my honor as a man, I will help you save that girl. They have dessert fiestas 4 times a year. So what if I miss one of them? It's not a big deal.
He seems so down. Meep.
By the way, Mion, you said you were going to give me 3 years worth of dessert fiesta admissions as a reward for the auction, right? I feel like I outgrew that type of voice acting. I prefer deeper voice girls. That's fair. I'll give you 1 year admission if you help me, Kameda-kun. No thank you, Kay. I'm a man. I'd be ashamed of myself if I was saving this girl because I was getting a reward.
Shin-chan, do you think we could do something for him? Do you?
How about this? I'll remove his name from the blacklist. Blacklist? What's that? Normal customers don't know about this, huh? There are customers that cause trouble in the restaurant sometimes. Whenever they do something wrong, their name gets written on the blacklist. Once their name gets written down enough times, they're no longer allowed to enter the restaurant. Stop it now. I'm an Angel Mort master. I would never behave so unmannered as to get myself on such a blacklist. Rena could have any voice and she'd still be best girl. That is fair. I think Rena's been popping off. You touched a waitress improperly twice, called a waitress just to talk to her, and sold tickets outside the restaurant. You'll be forbidden from entering after 1 more transgression. Oof. No way! I can't believe this. That's horrible. If I can't come to Angel Mort, I'll have no reason to live. However, I'm impressed that you're so willing to save Satoko. I'll erase your name from this list as a reward. Thank you so much! Thank you so much!
Hey, Mi-chan, does that blacklist really exist?
Jokes on everyone else, though. Everyone else. Eri has best voice acting. Aw, thank you. We trying. This old man has no idea. Kamena-kun, thank you. Let me know if you can't get a ticket for the next dessert fiesta. I'll invite you. Kay! Hug. We reaffirmed our strong friendship. Renee makes it fun to listen to. I'm so glad. See you tomorrow. I'll bring my baseball team members with me. I should be able to get at least 10 people. Sounds like her uncle's a really crazy guy. Wouldn't it be faster to just kick his ass rather than going to the child consultation center?
We can't do that. Otherwise, he'd take revenge on Satoko-chan.
I see. Of course, we can't commit murder either. I love how everyone's first, initial reaction is kill? Alright. Let's do it the right way. We don't want to get arrested by the police. 10 people is still not enough. Do you think you could get more people from somewhere? You need more people, huh? Let me take care of it. Kamena grinned at me, and then suddenly stood up and shouted. Hey, you guys! You heard everything, didn't you? For those who have a ticket for tomorrow, I'm not going to force you. Hinamizawa residents are built different? For real. This mob mentality is crazy. But if you're free, give us a hand! Everyone in the restaurant looked at him. There were a lot of people around. The dessert fiesta is tomorrow, so shouldn't today have just been a normal day? You're not wrong, but the people who missed out on tickets for the dessert fiesta are here today. All of these guys are regulars. I don't know their names, but we see each other all the time in this restaurant. What did you think about his story, guys? The longer I listen to it, the more upset I get. By the way, can you voice act Rana in a deeper voice for a bit and see how it works out? I could, in theory. but I've gone through like 6 games of voicing Rena the same way, so I feel like changing it right now would be weird. Because I try to keep the characters as consistent as possible. I guess if there's ever like an opportunity for Rena to have a deeper voice, like if she gets like really angry or something maybe, it's fun to just listen to it for a bit. If she ever decides to go like, because sometimes Rena will go into this mode where she's like evil, you know? Maybe for that. I do tend to lower her voice like a little for that, but that's just also sometimes because doing Rena for too long hurts my throat. But yeah, I don't think I'll change her voice unless like something comes up that makes me feel like she should change it. Thank you for the suggestion though. Locking a real girl up. I want to do that. I mean, I can't allow that to continue. I'll punish any guy who can't be nice to a girl. He could do it in his imagination, but it's unacceptable in the real world. Tell us to come with you, Kay. We admire your hunger. The Okinomiya Squadron is preparing to enact a rescue operation. Please give us the order to attack. This is Operation Satoko. Your mission starts tomorrow evening. Make sure your clock is on time and your will is written. This may be the day you die. Oh? All right! I'm sorry, you guys. Thank you for your help. You don't even know her. We can't abandon her just because of a tiny thing like that. Besides, we know very much about Princess Satoko. My fellows and I enjoy indulging in the warm sentiments that fill our hearts when the young lady fails to notice a bit of cream stuck to her chin. Therefore, this is a personal matter for us as well. All right, you guys. I'm going to rely on you. You need to back me up, okay? Be ready to fight tomorrow evening. Yeah! Kay! Kay! Kay!
Keiichi-kun is such a popular guy.
He's popular with the town council, too. He seems to be popular in the most unexpected places. Lots of other people seem to respect him, too. Some of the waitresses here are also concerned about Satoko. They said they want to come and support us when they're off.
Wow. I guess we have about 60 people now. We might even get more than that.
So, is this the power to defeat fate? Is it though? Child Consultation Center seems a little stubborn. That night, I attended a meeting for the Watanagashi Festival Committee. Everyone assembled at the meeting room in the Furude Shrine. I'd seen the building a few times, but I hadn't actually been inside before. There were pictures depicting the history of the dam conflict on the wall. According to Mion, this assembly building had been used as the headquarters of the dam protest back in the day. There was a huge flag that said Onigafuji Guardians hanging on the wall. People had written messages on it. I'd been called to the meeting so I could introduce myself. While I'd been chosen to be the host of the auction several days ago, this was my first time actually attending a meeting. There were about 30 committee members in the room, and my dad and I were introduced to them. Since I'm still a minor, I had to bring him along with me. I'd often heard the term parental rights recently, because of Satoko's situation, and because of that, I'd been thinking about the relationship between me and my dad. The Mayabara family is a pretty happy one, I think. I'm blessed to have parents like them. Hello, I'm Keiichi Mayabara. This is my first time doing something like this, and I'm very nervous. But I'll do my best. Hear, hear. You do your best, young man. Their friendly smiles and applause made me realize again how welcoming people are in this village. I felt pressured as I thought about how big of a responsibility I was going to undertake at the festival. Since I looked so nervous, the leaders of the committee all came up to me and said that I could just act natural and do my thing. Thank you for offering my son such an important position. I'm sorry that I'm unable to participate in council activities due to my job, but I'll do what I can to support my son.
Clap, 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 clap.
My dad must be used to making speeches. All right, then. We'll break up into groups and start the meeting. It's going to last until 8:50 p.m. Please begin your discussions as soon as you can. The festival committee can be broken up in different teams, like a general affairs team, a construction team, a refreshment booth team, and a ceremony team. Each team has separate meetings. My dad and I were told to join the event team. But after all, we joined toward the end without knowing anything, and the festival was next Sunday, too. I didn't understand anything they were saying, and I couldn't even express any opinions anyway. Nodding and pretending to participate in the proceedings was the most we could do. Near the end, I finally got the information about the auction I needed. I found out what time I was supposed to be backstage and other stuff about my job like that. They asked me what I was going to wear, and I stopped short. I thought I could just wear my regular clothes, but they suggested that I should wear something more flashy since I was the host of the event. But I don't have any clothes like that. Go shop, Keiji. How about a suit with a bow tie? That would make you look like a real MC. A bow tie? That's so embarrassing. I want to wear something more casual than that.
How's the meeting going, Kei-chan? What you talking about?
They're talking about what he's going to wear during the auction. If you don't have anything flashy to wear, I can get you something like that. Really? Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Keiichi's father. Dad, I don't trust him to get me proper clothes. I'm sure he won't get me anything for men. A bow tie is fine. I'll just wear that. If I didn't compromise on that, Irie and Mion would try to make me wear something outrageous. She'd also want me to wear women's clothes. You're part of the committee too, huh? Which team are you on?
He's on the general affairs team, where he's in charge of first aid. We always ask for his help since he's a doctor and all.
All I have to do is give band-aids to people who trip and fall. It's an easy job. For the most part, I'm just drinking beer under the main tent. It's nothing compared to your work, Maebara-san. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm going to drink barley tea with him too. Are
you not supposed to do the ceremony thing? You absolutely cannot, Furude-san. Oh, good evening, Maebara-kun. Nice to see you too, Maebara-san. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for being so kind to my son all the time. Maebara-kun, are you ready for the auction? I'm looking forward to seeing your show. It felt weird to see Chie-sensei and the principal outside of school. Rika-chan, you're performing a dance at the festival, right? I heard it's right after my show. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a traditional ceremony that she's performing. I'm sure you're nervous about it, huh? How do you feel this year? I'm used to it now, so I'm fine. You've only done it once last year, but you're already used to it. I'm impressed.
Oh, Mion. Maebara-san! It's been a while. Oh, Oishi-san. It's nice to see you. Have you been practicing the Tsubame Gaeshi? We should play together. You won't get better unless you play every day, you know. You know how to play Mahjong, Maebara-kun? Oh, he knows how to play, doesn't he? He's a pretty good player, too.
Hehehe. Perhaps we really should start playing Mahjong in our club now. We should go and crush every Mahjong parlor in the city.
Oishi-san thinks I'm an experienced player since I was practicing Tsubame Gaeshi the other day. Why do people misunderstand me all the time? By the way, Maebara-kun, I heard about that case. What case? About what you're planning to do tomorrow evening. A few of my staff members and I are going to be there as well. Takano-san and Tomitake-san are coming too. We can't bring that many people, but I hope you'll let us join you. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Every person counts. Especially when they're adults.
Irie.
I'm sorry that we can't do much to help her, but we still want to do something. This is what Takano-san suggested.
Takano?
Yes, she wanted to help somehow. She feels bad that she wasn't able to assist you the other day. Oh, you talking about that rumor? The one saying that Maebara-san's become the leader of a protest group or something? Even you know about it? You know about Satoko? Of course he does. He's very sensitive to rumors inside the village. Nah ha ha ha. It's only my job. I'm very aware of what's going on with Satoko-san. Oh, Ishii-san. What do you think about her case? Oh, Ishii-san is, after all, a police officer. Could he maybe have an option other than going to the child consultation center? I also think that going to the consultation center is the smartest thing to do. Then, you're also saying that there's no way to save her before something happens? We would probably do the same. We'd meet with him and tell him not to harm her. I'm sure a professional social worker could do a better job than that, though.
I don't know. Police have, a more intimidating aura, no?
I feel like Teppei would be more afraid of a police officer than a social worker. But, you know. They take care of all these abuse issues better than the police can. The police only take action after something happens. The Child Consultation Center can make a move before it does. Nah ha ha ha. It'd be a lot easier for us if we could arrest criminals before they commit crimes. However, we need to be very careful about whom we arrest, you know. We don't want to lose our jobs. In that sense, there's nothing wrong with them saying that they want to wait and see for a while.
Meep.
Well, I don't think the Child Consultation Center is being unreasonable. However, it must seem terrible from the point of view of those who know Satoko-san and Teppei-san. Oh, Ishii-san was exactly right. They must be assuming that we're overreacting by making such a fuss. It's only been a couple of days since he took her away. That mindset can create huge problems. I'm sure they're going to call him tonight because we told them that she's been missing school for 3 days. They'll ask him why she hasn't gone to school.
Teppei might beat her up for that.
I don't know. However, if he continues to keep her at home after the phone call, the Child Consultation Center will probably make a move. I think they'll talk to him about it. So she might come to school tomorrow? That's possible. Teppei can't stay in Okinomiya for some reason. That's why he needs to stay at Satoko's house. I'm sure he doesn't want any further trouble. Can't stay in Okinomiya for some reason? Nah ha 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 ha. That's right. For some reason. I heard that he had some kind of money-related troubles. You don't know about that, Sonozaki-san? I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean, Mion? There's a reason he wants to stay in Satoko's house? Well, yeah. Teppei has money issues, so he can't live in Okinomiya anymore. He's hiding out in Hinamizawa until the trouble brews over. Then he should hide somewhere alone. Why would he try and drag Satoko-chan into this?
You want Satoko as your maid, right? It's the same thing.
Yo! No, that's not right. Maids are about love. There is love behind my desires. I'm totally against violence. A master should treat his maid with love. Did he just explode? Let's just ignore that pervert for a moment. So, Ooshi-san, you think there's no choice but to let the Child Consultation Center take care of it? I think that's the most realistic plan. There are certain steps that you need to follow. When you take a pee, you go to the toilet and pull down your zipper. If you don't follow those steps, it ends in disaster. Facts! That's a gross way to put it. You disgusting old man. Yeah, ha 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 ha. I'm sorry, I can't help you. But I do find Satoko-san's case unfortunate. I hope that everyone gets to have a happy ending. The Child Consultation Center is going to make their decision regardless, but what you guys are doing isn't against the law either. What you're doing, Mayabara-kun, is not a mistake. Don't give up. Do all you can do. I'll support you too. Thank you very much. We went there yesterday and today, and we're going to go there tomorrow too. I believe we could save her as long as we don't give up. 3 days in a row, huh? I heard you took 20 people with you today. Are they going to take that many tomorrow too? Or are you?
Heh. Cat-chan's really talented when it comes to stuff like this. You'd be surprised. There's going to be 60 people tomorrow.
My, that's amazing. I could see you becoming an active labor union leader when you grow up. The head of our union is pretty deplorable. Nah ha ha ha. At that moment, I heard someone clapping. It was almost 9 p.m. The meeting was over. Everyone returned to their seats and listened to each other's section heads report on what they discussed. You're incredible, Keiichi. You know so many people from the village. But there are even more people that I don't know. Are you sure? You were talking with so many of them. I really am impressed. They're such nice people. Maybe I should be more involved with them too. You should. Hinamizawa is all about helping each other. I know you're busy with your work, but you should be involved as much as you can. Going to talk with your mother about that, I think. That's it for the meeting today. The next meeting is... tomorrow. I'll see you all then. It'll be the last major meeting before the festival. Thank you all for coming today. Chairman, will you give us some closing remarks? No, it's fine. Let's just go home and get some drinks. That's it for now. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. Wahahaha. Everyone laughed at Mayor Kimiyoshi's closing remarks. Your future... No! What? No! He's like... He's not even fully bald. It's partial. No! We finished cleaning up and everyone began filing out of the building. Even though it was a weekday, some of them were going out for drinks. They asked my dad to go along with them. My dad isn't an ordinary worker. He can sleep in if he wants to, as long as he makes his deadlines. Oh, that sounds like me. Keiichi, they want me to come for a drink, so I'm going, okay? Sure, have fun. I'm heading home now. Going home alone was kind of sad, so I thought I'd walk home with Mion, but she was still lingering at the meeting talking with the mayor and other important people. She was probably busy with the festival being so near. As I contemplated whether to wait for her or not, Oishi-san came up to me. Good job at the meeting. How did you get here? I can give you a ride home if you want. I came here on my bike. Plus, I'm waiting for Mion. I see. You'll be waiting a while, though. They're discussing the trouble they had with the refreshment booth team. Trouble with the refreshment booth team? It seems like such a fun festival, but they still have some issues, huh? Oh, yes. It's hard to make adjustments this late. Shaved ice and yakisoba are always popular, so everyone wants to do those. But it'd be a problem if all the booths sold yakisoba, right? They need to make those kinds of adjustments, so there'll be a variety of booths, but... people get upset when they have to run a booth that's not going to make much money, you know. They suggest running the booths in rotation every year, but some people don't have enough staff to do certain kinds of booths, and other people claim that their yakisoba's better than everyone else's. I need to play the They May Cry series. Is that, I'm kind of slow. Is that a pun on this game series, or is there an actual series called They May Cry? Or are you just talking about this series? I know there are other When They Cries. Like, what is it called? Umineko? Oh, yeah, you meant Higurashi? Yeah, I like it. Not much gameplay, I will admit, but I like it. I think the story's great. I heard Umineko was good too, though. They also fight about locations and who to hire, etc., etc. I had no idea that the preparations for a festival were so complicated. Everything needs adjustments. I guess it sounds like boring adult talk for a young man like yourself. But adjustments are necessary to make things go smoothly. What you're doing at the Child Consultation Center is a secret adjustment in a way. Satoko-san and Teppei-san don't even know about it. I guess you might be right. But we have no choice but to raise our voices. That's the only option we've got. Oh no, I'm proud to see you doing something like this. If I was your age, all I'd be able to think of is attacking him in the dark. Man, Oh, she must have had no other plans. He stuck around while I waited for Mion. There was no one else around at that time of night. It would have felt pretty lonely if he hadn't been there with me. I'm glad Oishi stayed to chat. We talked about mahjong for a while, its theory, techniques, and history. I rarely talk with a guy his age, so it was very interesting for me. It's nice to interact with people from a different generation sometimes. He's also a police officer. I was secretly hoping that he'd give me a hint about how to save Satoko. In any case, I had to wonder what was taking me on so long. By the time Oishi-chan finished his second cigarette, I started to think that maybe I should just go home for the night. I think I'm going to head home. Mion is taking too long. I have something big to take care of after school tomorrow. Going to the Child Consultation Center, you mean? Yes. I'm going to fight until they come up with a plan to save Satoko. Consistency is important. That's all we can do. Oishi-san smiled upon hearing my passionate words. I bet the Child Consultation Center understands your point by now. You know, there's a limit to what you can do. It's important to know when to quit. If you go too far, it'll only make things more complicated. But I can't just let Satoko suffer. Of course you can't. I'm sure that the Child Consultation Center won't leave her be either. They will help her. They might help her, but probably only after she gets hurt. If Satoko suffers irreversible mental trauma, it'll be too late. Oishi took out his third cigarette. That meant he was going to stay here until he finished it. I didn't feel like waiting here with him, though. I just wanted to go home and relax so I could prepare for tomorrow. I'm going home now. You know, Maebara-san, there's something I wanted to tell you. The tone of his voice had changed slightly. Whatever it was, it sounded important. I stopped and turned back around to face him. Actually, you see, I don't think you should go to the Child Consultation Center tomorrow. You've made your point already. But we need to do this so we can save Satoko. They aren't getting how urgent the situation is. We have to make even more of a fuss if that's what it takes for them to understand. I think we'll make a bigger impact if we go there 3 days in a row. You're trying to show them every courtesy, huh? But you know, Maebara-san, sometimes you should just let sleeping dogs lie. What? Let me make this clear. This isn't a warning from the police, and no one told me to tell you this. I'm just giving you advice, as your mahjong friend. The word advice didn't sound pleasant at all. I felt myself frowning involuntarily. Do you know what the Child Consultation Center is thinking? You guys showed up 2 days in a row, and you brought 20 people with you today. They're afraid you'll show up again tomorrow. Haha. Then why don't they just listen to us? I hope they're not planning to build a barricade so we can't get in the building tomorrow. No, they won't do that. Their job is to listen to those claims. They'll accept anyone who comes to make an appeal. They can't stop you from coming, no matter how many times you show up. They know that too. So they need to take care of the matter before you bring even more people and cause even more trouble. You mean, have they already made the decision to save Satoko? Not quite. They've started making secret adjustments so that you can't come by to pressure them anymore. What do you mean? They made a secret adjustment so that I couldn't bother them anymore? I felt confused. And then Oishi-san said something that almost sounded like a line from a political drama. These officials sometimes act a bit like the Yakuza. They don't want their badge disrespected. It's normal for them to ignore opinions opposing the decisions they've made, even if they realize their office is in the wrong. So, if they listen to us, other people will come to the office to get their cases taken care of. That's exactly it. They don't want people challenging their decisions. They will listen to your appeal, but they'll never change their stance unless there's something odd going on. Plus, this time, Satoko-san's case is nothing special or noteworthy to them. He may have taken her away from where she lived, but it's a legal act since he has parental rights. It's not like a parent without custody forcing his child to live with him. After all, he's the only blood relative she has. There's nothing, legally speaking, that prevents them from living together. But that's not the case with Satoko and her uncle. You know that too. You know how violently he abused her last year. That was last year. The Child Consultation Center can't do anything about it if he tells them that he feels remorse over what happened then. And more than anything, Satoko-san told him that he's not abusing her. That's because last year, Satoko relied on her brother, and she deeply regrets overburdening him. So as far as she's concerned, seeking help feels like she's betraying her brother. I see. It might be very difficult to persuade the Child Consultation Center in that case. Well, anyway, for reasons like that, the center can't understand why you and your group is pressing this issue so hard. We're just trying to let them know that Teppei is a violent person, and that we can't let Satoko stay with him. But why? You weren't here in Hinamizawa last year. I don't think you know much about Teppei-san. Why are you so sure that he's dangerous? He's that dangerous. That was a hard question to answer. He was right. I didn't know much about Teppei. I'd never even seen his face. But I just know. Way back in a different world, I didn't save Satoko. I just stood by and I've seen the world where Satoko was irreversibly broken. We all cried and regretted it. I couldn't explain that to Ooishi, though. My friends had understood my premonition. But it's weird for someone to be so aggressive just based on what he saw in his imagination. I mentioned it earlier, but sometimes a divorced couple battles for the custody of their child. The couple can sue each other, and sometimes their relatives sue the couple too. Some of them decide to sue their partner, not for the child, but just because they hate them. This case is a bit similar to something like that. It looks as though you're taking the actions you are because you hate Teppei Hojo. The Child Consultation Center needs to determine if you're doing this out of hate or out of genuine concern towards Satoko-san. Not all people go to the center out of goodwill like you. They can only make a decision after carefully determining if the information given by the petitioner is genuine or not. You need to understand that. So, you're saying that because I was too direct with them, they've mistaken my appeal as one born of ill will? No, you don't have to worry about that. Just please try to understand that they have to evaluate it carefully. If they put a child under protection every time they got a report, the nation would careen out of control. That's right. I think there was a passage in the civil law book the center showed us that first day. The family or the prosecutor must make an appeal to the family court. Family issues have to be resolved within the family. An outside appeal might move the center to take action, but the outsider can't tell them how to respond. And when it comes to that, Satoko's only family is her uncle. Since her uncle obviously wasn't going to do anything about this, Satoko would have to seek help on her own. But Satoko is denying that she's being abused at all. This isn't going anywhere. The consultation center is simply hoping that you'll give up. They have other cases that need more urgent attention, but they're not sure yet if they should ask you to give up. That's what I wanted to tell you today. What do you mean? I don't get it. Maebara-san, when you visited them today, did they treat you better than yesterday? Yeah, a bit. we were taken to a bigger room, and the manager came to see us too. You might think that the manager is ranked just a bit above the regular staff members. However, his position is as high as that of a section chief in a regular company. It's very difficult to achieve that position. The person you talked to today is actually a very powerful man, more than you can imagine. It's not normal for them to do that. The manager normally never shows up for a consultation. You need to recognize that the treatment you got today was a very special one. It never seemed that special to me. I thought we were taken to a big room because we went there with more people, and Rena told them to adjust to us. Because you were so well organized, they're suspecting that you're not the actual leader, and that the Sonozaki family are the ones behind this movement. I'm sure you know how powerful the Sonozaki family is in this village. I do. But that has nothing to do with the Sonozaki family. We're simply fighting to save our friend. Mion hasn't even mentioned her name. That's what the Child Consultation Center wanted to know. It's their normal routine to politely refuse a huge crowd of petitioners. However, things would be different if this was Oryo Sonozaki-san's idea. Oryo-san holds great sway in the city's government. No one can go against her wishes. I am aware that Mion's grandmother's very powerful, but that has nothing to do with this. In order to make that clear, the local government officials have approached the Sonozaki family in secret. They met Oryo-san and asked her about the case. They were going to take action if they found out that it was her idea, but they soon discovered otherwise. So, they're not going to take action anymore? It's not just that. Oryo-san is now aware that there's a commotion going on within the village. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but some people in the village still hold a grudge against the Hojo family, the traitors of the dam conflict. Ever since the curse of Oyashiro-sama, the Sonozaki family has been telling people not to interact with the Hojo family. You might wake up a sleeping dog if you continue to make all this noise. What happens if I wake the dog up? I don't know. She paused for a while and drew on his short cigarette. I'm not saying that you'll be threatened or that they'll hurt you. However, you just moved here and you're starting to get to know people from the village. But soon enough, you may get to see the underside of this place. The issues between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family. Well, village-wide matters have been slightly taboo in our group, but we may have to go down that road now. It's a fact that we haven't gotten any support from adults, except for the school teachers and Irie. Other adults in the village must know what happened between Satoko and Teppei last year. They all understand that it would be a disaster if we don't rescue Satoko as soon as possible. However, no adult came forward to help us. If we continue our movement, will the people who hate the Hojo family become our enemies too? That's possible. The Sonozaki family may get involved if you continue this commotion. You could say that the Sonozaki family is anti-Hojo. If you try to save Satoko-san using people from Hinamizawa, that shows huge disrespect toward the Sonozaki family. It could create a huge problem. By that point, I knew. This was a warning, not just advice. An ignorant young man in Hinamizawa is making noise, trying to wake a sleeping dog. I know you've taken a liking to this place and that you're really doing your best here. That's why I thought I should let you know about this. I'm sorry if I upset you. I love Hinamizawa. I've made a decision to make this place my home. I'm motivated about the big job I got for the festival too. Would it really be wise for me to try and create all of this trouble? I'm just speaking as your friend, nothing more. I'm not trying to threaten you or anything like that. I'm not trying to make you do anything you don't want to. I just wanted to give you this information. She smiled at me, then stomped on a cigarette. I thought that I'd just made the decision to do what was right. Was that only the stupid idea of an ignorant little boy? Did I need to grow up right now and think about this again? Dark clouds hung over my heart. But, wait a minute. Did that mean I didn't even have the courage to risk losing something? Was I not brave enough to save Satoko at all? I had to be the red fire. I couldn't give up, even if everybody else did. I had to fill other people up with righteous flames just like I was. What's the matter? What a bold smile you're wearing right now. Thank you for the valuable advice. But I can't give up, no matter what you tell me. I won't stop, even if the whole world tells me to. Even if the whole world is against you, huh? You're a stronger man than I thought. If the whole world is telling me that I'm making a mistake, I'll have to stop and reevaluate myself. However, I've already talked about Satogo's case with my friends over and over again. My heritage? I'm Korean American. Is that what you're asking? This isn't just my idea. I'm confident that our decision is the very best one to make. Yeah. I'm half Korean, half American. I agree with you, Maebara-san. Young people like you tend to make hasty and dangerous decisions. However, all of you are being very rational about this. You're making a democratic appeal. Just like Dr. Idia was saying, there's nothing wrong with your methods. I know. I'm positive that we're not making any mistakes. We're doing our best to save our friend. We're not going to give up just because we feel threatened. We are her true comrades. I have faith in us, even if the rest of the world doesn't. That's what friendship is all about. You have a strong will. Not even my detectives are as strong as you are. Oishi-san gave me a wicked grin of admiration. I could tell from that grin. He wasn't trying to pressure me at all. He was exactly the opposite of that. He had shared this information with me to confirm that I was ready to face this challenge. I didn't even have to consider whether his words were advice or a warning. Every man has many things he wants to keep believing in, even if others don't share that belief. Of course it's important to listen to advice with sincerity, but some beliefs you still can't turn away from. That's what being a man is all about. I also have a strong will, you know. About 5 years ago, a person who was like a brother to me was killed. He was murdered? The case was declared solved, but I'm continuing an investigation alone because I suspect there's another person in control behind the scenes. The department told me that I was wasting my time. They told me to stop. But just like you, I can't give up. Are you getting close to finding out who did it? I don't know about that. Anyway, if your resolve is that strong, then there's nothing for you to fear. Just follow through on your beliefs. I'm often threatened to show more restraint if I want to keep my full retirement pay to myself. But I've never given in. There's a lot of things we men can't convey without being unwavering. My, exactly right. You can't give up no matter how risky it'll be. Was that Keiichi? No, that was... Oh, is she? Okay. It's important to pursue your goal. And even if you end up playing into their hand, that's what being a man is about. If you're going down, then go down fighting. You're right. Waffling between whether to go or go back isn't the attitude of a real man. That's how a man should be. We bumped our fists together, reaffirming that real men are the same, regardless of their generation. It wouldn't be a simple road to saving Satoko, but I was never going to give up. I was going to save her. I had no doubts about that. Wow. That was a pretty long chapter. No relations. Please hold for a moment. I'll get her. Oryo-san, someone from the municipal government is calling. Ah, hello. Hello, Sonozaki-san. This is Aida from the municipal government. Thank you very much for the ohagi the other day. You're quite welcome. Thank you for your work at the Culture Festival. Also for providing that large parasol. How much does that thing cost? We use it every year, so we might as well buy one ourselves. We borrowed that one from a teacher. I checked out the price, but the domestically made ones cost about 200,000 yen. I also found one made in China, and it's less than half the price. I don't care if it's made in China or not. Just get one so that we don't have to cause any more trouble for the teachers. We're actually ordering it already. Once it arrives, you might want to take a look at it and make a final decision. Also, we've been holding the same Edo-style tea ceremony for the past 3 years. We should probably get an instructor from a different style. Can you look for a new instructor next year? Oh, I see. Will do, ma'am. We'll find a different tea ceremony instructor. About that, advisor, I have something else to ask you about. And here's me going on about a parasol. So what do you need? We were wondering if you've heard anything about the case of Satoko Hojo-san in Hinamizawa. Satoko Hojo? Huh? You're talking about that blasted Hojo girl. What did she do? Well, she recently moved in with her uncle, but she's being abused, apparently. Have you heard anything about it? Her uncle? Satoko's being abused. I've never heard of anything like that. Oh, well, if you don't know, that's okay. To tell you the truth, someone from Hinamizawa came to petition to the Child Consultation Center. According to the center, the petitioner was very persistent. The manager felt that it was better to talk with you if you already knew about it. I don't know anything and I don't care. Why would I do anything for that pitiful child? The Sonozaki family has nothing to do with this. Have you heard anything about it from the town council? No, what are you saying? If Kimiyoshi was helping that blasted Hojo child, then the Sonozaki family would know about it. Who's petitioning the Child Consultation Center? I heard some of her classmates were there. Well, as far as I know, anyway. I guess it's just something that her classmates are doing, and the village has nothing to do with it. Of course not. I don't know anything. The village has nothing to do with Satoko. The contents of this conversation were forwarded to the Child Consultation Center. If Oryo wasn't behind the commotion, then they had no need to take the case seriously. The manager told his staff to listen to what the petitioners have to say, but to never say anything promising the girl's safety. Keiichi Maebara-kun, huh? I guess a boy like that will grow up to be a political advocate in the future. That's crazy! They're just gonna ignore them! Sending the brat back. It'd been 3 days since he told her to stay home. He got another call from that annoying teacher again, so he yelled at her and hung up the phone. That woman is too persistent, Teppei thought. She won't give up that easily. He was sure that she'd call the Child Consultation Center again. The biggest reason why Teppei refused to let Satoko go to school was his fear that she'd seek help when going there. She pretended like nothing was wrong when the social worker from the Child Consultation Center showed up, but that was only because he was right beside her. She'd probably betray him as soon as she got her chance. Then the consultation center would show up immediately. No, maybe even the police would come and get him for assaulting Satoko. One of his friends had told him that the consultation center works with the police sometimes. Teppei had a lot of weight on his shoulders. If the police came, they'd end up questioning him about the other trouble he was involved in. He couldn't let that happen. All he needed was the money. Teppei could leave this awful village behind as soon as he found his brother's bank book. Teppei usually stayed at home, and he found the way the other villagers looked at him unpleasant. So when playing mahjong with his friends, he played it at Satoko's house. But mahjong requires at least 4 people. When Teppei couldn't get that many people to come over, he just stayed home alone and watched TV instead. He started using this ample free time to sniff around the house for his treasure. Satoko would end up cleaning the mess he made. Besides, it wasn't his home anyway. What did it matter to him how much furniture he broke? He cleared out the closet and went up to the attic. He also pulled out all the chests and searched through them thoroughly. His wife had been a pretty clever woman. She must have hid it somewhere very unusual. He messed up the whole first floor, and then went up to the second floor to search some more. The next moment, Satoko went and tried to tackle him.
Not Nini's room!
What the hell?
No, you can't go inside Nini's room!
Teppei immediately assumed that she was hiding the bank book in there. He threw her off and forced his way inside the room. However, Satoko tried to stop him with all of her might. It was amusing for Teppei to see Satoko resisting him to that extent, but it also surprised him a little. He asked her why she didn't want him to go into Satoshi's room.
That room belongs to Nini. Nini will be hurt if he comes home and sees his room destroyed.
You don't want me in there just because it's your brother's room? You don't even know if he's still alive.
Nini is alive. He will come back home. Wah! Don't destroy his room.
What are you saying? I'm not going to destroy the room. I'm just trying to clean it up. Why would you have to save this room for someone who's not here anymore? I need to clean it up.
No, you can't. Wah! Nini, Nini, wah!
The hell? You really don't want me to go inside, huh? Satoko's crazed behavior convinced him that he should stop provoking her for the moment. While Teppei was very talented at threatening people, despair makes cowards courageous. If he ignored Satoko and tore apart the room, she might just run away. He didn't want Satoko to be nearby, but he also couldn't let her run loose. Fine then. If you promise to be a good girl, I won't go inside this room. All right? Got it?
Yes.
But if you make me mad, I'm gonna rip this room apart. If you escape from this house or tell people about what's happening, everything in there's gonna end up in the garbage. Get it?
Yes. Thank you for giving me a chance.
Teppei was sure the bank book was inside Satoshi's room, but Satoko would lose it if he went inside. He wasn't pleased about the promise he made with her, but at least it would keep Satoko under control. It might not hurt him to send her off to school. If he kept her home again tomorrow, that teacher might come to the house with the police in tow. He was only keeping her at home because he was afraid that Satoko would talk to other people. If she wasn't going to do that, it'd be better for him to send her to school. He could sneak into Satoshi's room while she was out. Satoko, you've been a good girl, so I guess your cold is all better now. Go back to school tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
He was the one who told her to say thank you when he gives her approval to do something. But it annoyed him to hear her say it over and over. Get out of my sight, you little brat! Gah! You're so annoying. Interesting. So I guess if he finds the bank book in Satoshi's room, then he'll leave. Happy ending, question mark? Anyway, it's kind of late, because this chapter took longer than I thought it would. So I think we're gonna skip drawing today, and we'll just save it for next time. Because I did tell my dad that I would end by 11, and we've got like 10 minutes, so I don't think I can do anything in that time. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Happy 4th again if you're American. Rah! Alright, bye-bye.